Listen up.
This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Yes, well, over the weekend, we've been talking about this exhibition fight, Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson. Now, on the undercard, right before they came out, was Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. And Jake Paul did knock Nate Robinson out. I think he knocked him down like 3 times, right? In the first and in the second. First round and then twice in the second round. Mm-hmm.
One too many.
One of the wins of the night was Snoop Dogg commentating during the fights. Yes, here's a preview of that for you.
Yeah, he is. He coming in. Look at him. Whoa. Slow down, nephew. He got on basketball shoes. Do we got on boxing shoes? Hold on.
Remember what Paul said he was going to dribble Robinson's head off the canvas like a basketball in Israel?
Back him up there, Nate. Back him up. Get up out of there. Speed, kill. Get up on him then, dog.
It was funny. It was
pretty enjoyable. Yeah, here's some more Snoop, just so y'all can hear it.
Oh, there's a feint from Jake.
Caught him. Oh, my God. Down. Lord have mercy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord.
Snoop, talk about dropping it like it's hot.
Take my hand.
Oh, he got up.
Lead me on. Let me stand.
Wow, nothing funny about what's happening with Nate Robinson, but Snoop Dogg is singing the hymns. He's trying to get...
Oh, Lord.
Yo, that was hilarious.
Dropping the clues bombs for Uncle Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop killed it.
I was drinking Snoop's wine this weekend, too, the 19 Crimes. Pretty good wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that was hilarious. When Snoop was like, it looked like my 2 uncles in the backyard fighting. I was dying. Snoop did his thing.
Well, we're going to get to it. We actually have that, and that is for the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight. Mike Tyson is 54 years old. Roy Jones Jr. is 51. Yes, and it looks like Mike Tyson is saying that he does plan to fight again. I'm not sure about Roy Jones Jr. after this, but, after the fight, Mike Tyson was saying that he felt a way that nobody was asking him how he was doing.
People were afraid, Roy, you might get hurt tonight. Were you really afraid in the back of your head that something could happen that might have put you in peril?
I was afraid I might get hurt. I didn't fight in 20 years. He only stopped fighting for 3 years. I'm afraid I might get. Why nobody care about my ass?
Well, that's typical, right?
He been fighting 15 years. He stopped fighting 3 years ago, and everybody worrying about his ass.
Nobody thinks that a giant is going to fall.
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant. I'm a beginner.
Very valid point.
Yeah, better care about Tyson's ass, man.
I think 05 was the last time Tyson fought. So, yeah, he got a valid point.
Now, Snoop also did his commentating for that fight, and the one thing that went viral was what he had to say about what they look like fighting each other.
Mike Tyson all over Roy Jones Jr., Snoop.
Like 2 of my uncles fighting at the barbecue. Get your uncle out of there. Get him out. You go meet me in the backyard. I'm tired of this. Come on. Get up in there, Roy.
Now, I told y'all that Lil Wayne was supposed to be performing, and I guess he didn't get on the flight. I don't know what happened, but they said he missed his flight to L.A., and that's why Snoop actually ended up performing also.
Oh, Snoop was phenomenal, though.
Yeah, he
Dropping
was
the clues bomb for Snoop. Snoop actually made a lot more sense. And one of the reasons he made sense is something that he said during the fight. He was like, yo, I came up in the 90s. You know what I mean? I came up in that, Roy Jones era. So our careers were kind of parallel. So it just made sense for Snoop to be the one performing there, more so than I think Wayne would.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank goodness he did step in and make it. Lil Wayne tweeted out, due to unforeseeable circumstances, I won't be performing tonight at the Tyson Jones fight. Hope the event is still a success, and much love to Triller. So not exactly sure what those circumstances were, but apparently it wasn't going down. Now let's talk about the real. They face. Oh, go ahead, Charlamagne.
No, I was gonna say I enjoyed that. That was $50 well spent.
It was.
I enjoyed it on the Saturday night. I had a great time. I watched all the undercards. And the main event. The performances in between. I thought it was a great spend of $50.
Yeah, I thought so too.
All right, now let's talk about the real. They were facing some backlash for some comments that they made on the show. Listen to this.
I don't think it's right. You in prison for a reason. I don't think it's right. You in prison to be partying and making dance videos.
I would have such an issue if someone was in prison for doing something terrible to my family member, and then I'm seeing them here on TikTok having a good old time, making videos, getting money from Cash App, I would feel that that wasn't justice. Obviously, it depends on the crime, but like I can't imagine you having done something violent to a family member, killing someone in my family, and then I get to see you do a little song and a dance on TikTok. That would piss me off.
What are you talking about?
So they're talking about people having access to TikTok while they're in jail. And then being able to, I guess, access that. And I saw they did get a lot of backlash for these comments, but then I saw some people agreeing with them also. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. It depends on the crime and what they did. I mean, because if somebody murdered one of my family members and I see them on TikTok enjoying themselves in prison, I think I would be tight and upset as well.
Yeah, I mean, unless things have changed, I thought you couldn't have a phone in prison anyway.
Bro, come on.
An actual cell phone. I mean, I know people have them, but it's not legal to have them.
No, it's not legal
in prisons. But other than that, yeah, I agree with them. It's prison, okay? Not to mention, what if you are in there for a violent crime? What if you're a child molester? You might be on TikTok negatively influencing young, impressionable kids. I agree. I want prisons to be actual correctional facilities where, like, rehabilitation for those brothers and sisters in there. Teach them a trade. Let them get a higher education. Let them physically, mentally, and emotionally get themselves together. I don't want to see them on TikTok.
Right. Well,
plus, how can you act like you're having a good time in prison? Hey, I don't care how much you're dancing and singing or how much it looks like you're having a good time. You're in prison. Stop it.
Well, yeah, I saw a lot of the backlash on social media. One person said, what an asinine conversation. Prisoners have the ability to dance or feel happy regardless of if you can see them in a video or not. And they said prisons are human beings, and it's a failing of society that we continue to turn a blind eye to the money-making machine that is the prison industrial complex. It thrives because it successfully encourages you to be complicit in the criminalization of blackness. And then they said Khalif Browder spent 2 years in solitary confinement because he couldn't afford bail and later committed suicide. Y'all don't have the range for these conversations.
They better stop, man. They said it depends on the crime. Yes, if you kill one of my family members, no, I don't want you to have a good time. No, I don't want you dancing. I don't want you doing any TikTok. I don't want you getting no Cash App. What's the problem?
Well, I'm just saying it's
depends on the crime.
So some of the luxuries that you have when you're not in prison, that's the whole point of not wanting to go to prison. You know what I mean? The whole point of being in prison, the whole fear of it is that, you're getting locked away and, these luxuries that you get to enjoy when you're on the outside, you don't get inside of there. So if you're giving them all the luxuries, what's the fear of going to prison?
Right. And I guess when we talk about prison reform also, we're also thinking about there's people who are wrongfully incarcerated. And like they said, people who just can't make bail and can't fight their case and things like that. So should you deny them access to all of those things? It's like assuming that everybody that's in jail did something terrible when some people might not have.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. I'm Angela Yee.